notice it when you don't have to.
You're watching the USA Network.
Like a century ago when the Whitney Dance Company opened here. Only wish I could have seen it.
It was magnificent.
A huge success, a couple of performances, then nothing. What the hell did it all mean?
It means that you did what you set out to do. I mean, the fact that it was cut short wasn't your fault. The company opened. People recognized your talent. They applauded your success.
An applause that I never heard, thanks to Sky Whitney.
But everybody knew that it was your victory.
Well, it's all over now. We can move on to something else. A dramatic company. Who knows what that will bring?
I don't know, but it's going to be interesting.
You know, there is nothing more eerie than an empty theater. I can't shake the feeling that the ghost of Sky Whitney is haunting this place.
Don't say that. This is a whole new challenge now, and it has nothing to do with Skylar Whitney.
Wait a minute. Will you look at this place? Is this something? Wow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful!
Yeah.
Ah.
Smiley, it's got everything. It's got
Wow,
a great
look
lighting
at-
board.
Ah.
It's got a scene dock, flies, and enough boarders for the Metropolitan Opera House.
The dressing room, hot and cold running. Why, you kidding? Hey, God bless all rich widows, especially Raven Whitney. Wow.
Raven, if you went to see Cliff Nelson about the estate, I don't see why you didn't wait for him to return to his office.
Because I didn't feel like waiting, and I had other things to do. I'll call him later and tell him to come to the house tomorrow.
Do you think a house call is really necessary?
Well, why not? I'm paying the fee, which I'm sure will be exorbitant. I just wonder if he can handle the job.
From what I hear, he is a very accomplished young lawyer, and Mike thinks he'll do very well for you.
Well, that's the only reason I hired him, Mike Carr's recommendation. Personally, I think Cliff Nelson's a jerk.
Raven. In any case, I'm sorry that you had your trip for nothing this morning.
Well, I wouldn't say it was for nothing. I didn't get to see Cliff, but I had a very interesting little visit.
Why don't you call Cliff right now and make another appointment?
Well, no, actually, there's something else I have to do first.
Raven, you have a positive genius for procrastination. You always have something else to do first.
I do have something else to do first, and it's a lot more important than calling Cliff for a consultation.
I can't see that anything is more important than settling the question of Skylar's estate.
Well, Mike Carr says there aren't going to be any problems.
Well, I don't expect there to be either, but it's a very complicated process, especially with an estate the size of Skylar's. There are documents galore. Tax reports, surrogate courts, corporate involvement. You'll be signing papers for the next 2 years.
I'll let Cliff do all that. The only thing I want to do is avoid any further publicity.
Mike and everyone else has assured you that there won't be any more ugly talk about Skylar. Now, I think you can relax on that point. You're getting positively paranoid.
Well, Damian Tyler told me that there's someone who's still on the case.
Who?
Calvin Stoner.
What would he be doing on the case?
He's determined to find an alleged motive for Skylar's alleged plot to murder Gunther, which is ridiculous because we all know that Gavin Wiley murdered Gunther. I think they're just using Skylar as a scapegoat, which makes a lot of sense now that Sky's dead.
Calvin Stoner is a conscientious police officer, and he's a fine young man.
Oh, yes. He certainly is a model of rectitude, isn't he? Well, I think I'm going to prove you wrong about your procrastination theory. That little thing that I have to do right now, I'm gonna go do right now.
Stoner, would you be so good as to explain to me the point of this memo about the Whitney case?
Well, I thought it might be worthwhile to make some inquiries among Wagner's friends and associates, that's all.
Listen, there's been all too much time spent on this case. I hate to remind you guys, and I don't want it to come as a shock to you, but there are some unsolved cases around here.
But, Chief, all we want to...
Don't but Chief me. We have all the vital information. We have the suspect. He may be dead, but Skylar Whitney killed Gunther Wagner, and that's it.
Yeah, but there's still a mystery here. I mean, we've got no motive for this murder.
It doesn't matter. He killed the man, and that's it. And I'll tell you guys one more time, I will not authorize the expenditure of any more time or money or manpower on this.
Hey, wait a minute.
I want you to put all your energies into solving crimes.
Just take it easy, why don't you?
Look, it's okay. You're, the boss.
Well, Calvin, thank you for that admission. You're right, I am the boss.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. I mean, I wasn't trying to be flippant.
And that's another thing. The attitude around here has been all too lax lately. I want you both to know this picnic is over, and you can tell your friends outside and downstairs the same thing.
All right, all right.
If that's all, I'd like to, request a couple of hours off. My wife's in town, and...
What?
I need to see her about something.
All right, go take care of your wife. And when you're through, I want you back out on the street ringing doorbells on that Lucas case. You got me?
Yes, sir.
And what do you want?
I just wanted to tell you that I'll be ready to report for work tomorrow morning.
Great, you told me. And remember, the same thing I said to him goes for you. No more on that Whitney case.
I agree. I think Raven has suffered enough.
Well, that's not my reason for laying off, but it doesn't matter. All right, you can go.
Depress you people, but I have to leave.
Where are you off to, Smiley?
I gotta meet Casanova at Sid's Tavern.
Casanova? Who's that?
Johnny Gentry. Who else? Who's that? I'll see you later. Yeah. Step back, Jack. Ah. You must be Miss Avery.
Well, yes, I am. How did you know?
The legends of your beauty and charm have preceded you.
Well, thank you. And you are?
Smiley Wilson. I understand we're going to be working together.
Great. I look forward to it.
You look forward to it? I can't wait. Incidentally, I like to run lines in private. I'm going now.
He is quite a character, isn't he?
Slightly crazed, but he's okay. And a good actor.
And my brother. Oh, Jinx, do you remember Jody and Gavin?
Yeah, we've met.
Yes.
Gavin's going to be our director.
Oh, great.
So, what do you think of the Whitney Theater?
Well, I think it's just terrific, and I am thrilled to be here. I can't wait to get started.
Well, things are moving right along.
Yeah, Jim has started revisions on the script. The cast is now complete, thanks to you, and Hector's begun designs on the sets.
Yep. In fact, I just sent Cliff down to the property house to put a deposit down on that jail cell we're going to use.
And Jim would like the company to meet tomorrow. This way we can all read the script together and get an idea of what the play's about. Will that work out for you?
Oh, sure, couldn't be better.
Well, then, we're on our way.
Great.
Tell me, has Jim said anything about a timetable for the opening?
Oh, no, not definitely. So much has happened these past 2 days, he hasn't had time to sit down and figure it out. Did you need to know?
Oh, well, I was just wondering, that's all. I hope it's soon. Very soon.
Thanks a lot, Nancy. Yeah. You want your coffee now or later? Later, I think. Hey, did you hear the great news about the maskers taking over the Whitney Theater?
Yeah, Cliff told me. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Didi, we have got ourselves an acting company, a play, and now we have got ourselves a terrific theater.
That's encouraging for all of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. I'm so excited.
So you'll be going into rehearsals right away?
Yeah, I think so. Didi, I gotta tell you something. And you gotta promise me not to breathe a word of it to a living soul.
That's a heavy responsibility, but I promise.
Didi, I've been rehearsing curtain calls in my room, alone. And I feel so guilty. I mean, what if somebody found out? I mean, you gotta promise not to tell anybody, okay?
Mitzi, I'll take it to my grave.
Thank you. I feel so much better. Oh, this whole thing is just like a dream come true.
Yeah, I guess that's life, isn't it? One dream comes true and another dream comes to an end.
Hey, what are you talking about? Whose dream ended?
Oh, nothing. It's unimportant. Well, with everything that's been happening with you lately, someday you might be as famous as Star Wilson.
Yeah, right. Calvin's wife. She is famous, isn't she?
That's what they tell me.
You know, I'd be really interested in seeing her act someday.
Well, if you had bought a ticket to see her act this week, you would have missed her. She took a leave of absence from the play to come home and spend some time with her husband. I guess that's true love, isn't it?
Didi, is there something wrong between you and Calvin? Did something happen?
No, Mitzi, nothing happened between Calvin and me. I admit I did come very close to ignoring my New Year's resolution about Calvin, but fortunately, I came to my senses.
It's too bad.
Oh, Mitzi.
Yeah?
Take care of those two gents over there, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Hey, you two gents. I'll have menus in a minute.
Hey, Sydney, I was hoping you'd be waiting on this table tonight, so I could get to watch you come and go.
Ooh, you show folks are all alike. Full of the blarney.
Smiley, you really like Sid, don't you?
If you tell Ma, I'll kill you, you dirty rat.
Okay, Smiley, you can tell me, do you dig Sid Brennan?
Yeah, I dig Sid Brennan.
Look, I know you've been being cute with her because she put up the money for the theater, but we've got the money now. So you can cut the charm and relax.
What are you talking about? You got the soul of a weasel. I'm surprised at you, John. But beyond the 10,000, Sydney happens to be a good-looking lady, okay? And on top of that, she's direct, no games, a straight-ahead chick, and I like that type.
I'm just asking.
Right, and while you're asking, think about this, okay? What's the big deal about $10,000? $10,000, that's nothing today. In these times, it's peanuts.
Smiley, that's all she's got is from an insurance policy.
That's what she says. $10,000, that's not a big payoff to make. You know what I'm telling you? The company made a payoff on her ex-old man's life. A guy's life, Johnny. It's got to be worth more than $10,000.
She says it was worth about a nickel.
Right. You don't think she's making a bunch of profit from this place? You're kidding. Old Sydney gal there is stashing it someplace.
Oh, so that is why you're interested in her, and you say I have the soul of a weasel.
Hey, back up, will you, Johnny? If Sid was a dog, I mean, I wouldn't think twice about this, you know, but she happens to be. All right. There's nothing like being nice to a good-looking woman, huh? So why don't I quit letting the grass grow? Hey, I'm coming at you, Sydney. How you doing?
Real fine. How about you?
Win some, lose some.
Can I pour you something?
No, thanks. That's not what I came over here for.
Oh? You find me irresistible, is that it?
Oh, I'm not going to argue that. Listen, I guess you heard we've got the Whitney Theater.
Oh, yeah, I heard that from Cliff and Mitzi. Hey, that's one big hurdle. So, you're really a full-fledged show company now.
Hey, you're in it now, too. I think you ought to think serious about the whole thing. I mean, really get involved.
Boy, what I know about the theater is zero. Oh, I know that the curtain goes up and the curtain comes down, and that's about all. No, Smiley. I'll leave it to the geniuses. I'm just an investor.
Just an investor? In show business, investors are called angels. And in your case, that's a perfect description. So I think somebody that's invested in the theater should know something about it. I could fill you in.
Oh, yeah? Well, that'd be nice.
Well, let me ask you, you ever take a night off from this place?
Sometimes.
What about tomorrow night? I'll take you to a restaurant. You can check out the competition.
Well,
Don't make any hasty decisions.
Sure. All right.
Well, Jinx, if you're in such a hurry to get going on this, why don't we have a little read-through? Might be fun.
Sure. Oh, good. Now, I know that all you've had time for is to skim read. What I'd like you to do this time is do whatever you feel, whatever the lines indicate to you, even if it's just scratching the surface, okay? I'll play Matthews.
Well, first, could you give me a little background? I mean, what happened right before the scene?
All right, as you know, Marie is the girlfriend of the defendant in the trial. In this scene, she has come to see Matthews, the defense attorney, and he's been rather reluctant to take on the case. He's tough, he's cynical, and he's not so sure of his client's innocence.
Well, why did he agree to defend him in the first place?
Notoriety, national attention. Anyway, she sensed his reluctance in a previous scene. She's come to him in this scene to try to convince him of her version of the truth. Understand? Okay, why don't we take it from page 52 from the line, "I've heard about you, Mr. Matthews."
All right. I've heard about you, Mr. Matthews. You've got quite a reputation as a criminal lawyer. Your reputation for compassion isn't quite so good.
Marie, let me set you straight. The law is my profession. I don't deal in compassion. I deal in facts, precedents, statutes. My job is to get the defendant off with as little damage as possible, no matter what I have to do. Whether it's plea bargaining, a charge of insanity, whatever.
And what about in this case?
Frankly, the odds are against us. Nothing in the world is going to keep him from spending the rest of his life in jail. Now, forget miracles. The only miracle we can expect is avoiding the gas chamber. And if you repeat that before the trial is over, I'll call you a liar.
You don't pull any punches, do you?
No.
Oh, sure. What do you care? What do you care about him or his father or me? We don't count much as long as you get your picture in the 6 o'clock news.
Miss Forbes, you are a very attractive woman. Take my advice and forget this kid. I'm telling you, there's nothing you or I can do about saving him, so just forget him.
How dare you say that to me? It's easy for you to talk about forgetting. What did you ever have to remember but precedents and statutes? What have you ever cared about except Section B, Paragraph 10? Just forget him? How do you forget the way someone looks at you? The way he smiles or laughs, or looks angry, or whispers your name. The way his arms feel around you. The way he says, "I love you, Jinx."
Her name is Marie.
Yes, Helen? All right. Send him in.
Hello, Derek.
Hello, Mike.
How would you like to exchange that coffee cup for a martini glass?
No, thanks, Mike. I'm working late this evening.
You've got that heavy a workload?
Yes, I do. Sit down.
Thanks. You sure you have to work late tonight?
Yes, Mike, I'm sure.
Listen, my friend, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You look like hell. You're going through a rough time, aren't you?
Look, Mike...
And don't try to make me look like a fool by denying it. Derek, I'm not just making idle conversation. If I didn't care, I wouldn't ask.
I know that, Mike.
Would you like to talk about it?
Sure. Sure, why not? I'm sure this whole town wants to know why my wedding's been put off. Jinx just decided she didn't want a marriage to interfere with her career, so we postponed.
Is that the official explanation?
That is the official explanation and the only one you'll get out of me.
They'd better get going. I don't want that martini at Harry's bar to get warm.
Take a rain check?
Sure.
Mike.
Yeah?
Listen, I appreciate your concern, and I'm sorry if I've been a little abrupt. But I'm not in a good mood.
Forget it, Derek. I can certainly understand why you're not in your usual affable mood.
The second time this has happened to me, you know. First time with Raven, I considered myself kind of lucky. This time I don't feel lucky at all.
Well, you're home just in time, Calvin. We have company.
Raven, what the heck are you doing here?
Well, actually, I came here to see you, Calvin, about something, but then I realized that your wife was here, and it was a special treat.
It was, huh?
Oh, yes, it was very special. Mrs. Whitney's been very entertaining.
Oh? Singing, dancing, telling funny stories, things like that?
One funny story about someone named Didi Bannister.
You're watching the